Hello and welcome back to the Modern Stacker. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the spot price and a trend that I spotted here that deserves taking a look at. And I think it explains why some analysts are looking at $19 spot prices for silver and why I think once you hit that, we're going to the moon. So again, this is just my own personal opinion and my own personal research, just sharing it with you. You can take it and, use it, whatever. I'm just a dude on YouTube who likes to talk about shiny things. So pay no attention to any of this. Is not financial advice, and ignore all these pop-ups. I don't know why they keep sticking up here. So anyway, let's jump into it. A couple weeks ago, I had told some of the viewers in my audience that there was a descending broadening wedge pattern that was going to break out. And that was my prediction, and I was right. And I kind of showcased that a little bit, but I wanted to unpack what happened and how I kind of came to that determination, just so you can kind of see my process a little bit. And then you can, we'll pan out and we'll look at the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is really exciting. So the descending broadening wedge, just to recap, when you see it broadening and an ascending pattern where it's basically you got the top edges of your spikes and you got the bottom edges of your spikes, and you see it turn into this descending broadening wedge pattern, what that indicates or suggests is that this is going to be very volatile for a little bit, but then ultimately it's going to break out and go upward. And that's what we saw over here. It was a little bit interesting because it hit the 200-day moving average and it got a little dicey. Then I said it could either, at that point when the 200-day moving average hit, I think this is actually used to be over here. When this happened, the broadening wedge pattern got a little shaky, but then it got back into this funnel here. And once it got into this funnel, I was feeling pretty confident. And then this is when we hit the trigger zone. We had the overlaps of the lines. And so I was like, okay, we're probably going to start to see something happen here like in the next day or two. And sure enough, a day or two later, it hit this mark and it went up and went all the way up to from I think it was $23 an ounce to $25, $24, $25 an ounce. It was a big jump, and a lot of people on YouTube were jumping out and like, it's going up. Okay, this is the spot price. This is the paper traded price. This is what happens. What I wanted to show you here, though, because a lot of people are freaking out. It's like it's going back down, and I just say, hey, here comes a great buying opportunity. Okay, so if you're a silver stacker, here comes a great buying opportunity, and it could go really low. I mean, you've seen some people talking about $19 an ounce, and I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but let me show you why they think that might happen. So you might have noticed there's a pink line up here. Okay, this magenta line. So I'm going to pan out a little bit. This is a pattern that I am seeing over here. So if you go back to, was it April of 2023 where we had this mark, and you start kind of following the trends down, you get this broadening wedge that goes all the way down. I might have to zoom out here a little bit. You get this all the way down to the potential for, say, around $19 an ounce. So you have this entire playground of wedge. So I think this is where a lot of the analysts are getting their $19 an ounce forecasting speculation, because you could look at the micro where we saw this descending wedge here and say, oh, that's what happened here, and there's the descending wedge. Or you could pan out and look at the macro, and here is the broadening wedge, and it's following the pattern. It's like, I could draw this up maybe a little bit more accurate here, but that just makes the broadening wedge even stronger. But here's the exciting thing. So if this happens to be the range, and if, let's say, it does go down to $19 an ounce, which would be phenomenal for people who are looking to back the truck up. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, but if it hits to that level, I tell you, I am going to be backing the truck up. You can guarantee it. But when it hits that zone, we saw it happen here. You hit the broadening wedge, the descending broadening wedge, and once it breaks out and goes to the moon. If this breaks out and goes to the moon, we could be looking at something very significant. So, I mean, maybe upwards in the $30 an ounce, maybe 28, 20, 30. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's possible. It's possible. I mean, that's a significant jump. Let's taper it down. Let's say 26, 27, maybe 28. It could hit 28. Again, that's my forecast. We'll see if I'm right, but there is a wedge here, and it's a descending broadening wedge. And I think if you're, a chartist like me, this is something that you can't just, can't dismiss. We haven't reached any trigger zones. This 200-day moving average is definitely going to be playing a factor as to the win. But the fact that we're under the 200-day moving average is going to make the computer machines start to regret the fact that this is so high, and it's going to probably push the price down a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more drops here over the next couple of days and weeks. But at some point, it's going to start correcting and heading back in that positive direction if this wedge is in fact directing the markets. Because if it is, expect it to eventually hit a point where it's going to do this. And when this happens, we don't know if it's going to come back down again, at least not at this time. So anyway, hope that has been helpful for you. If it is, leave a like on this video. It helps get the YouTube algorithm, sharing it out to people who like this kind of stuff. And leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me what you think. Are we going to be seeing $19 an ounce silver prices? And if so, are you going to be backing up the truck? Hope so, but let me know in the comments below. And thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Until next time, keep on stacking.